Mosul, only half of the American-trained Golden Division remains. Meanwhile, in the liberated Aleppo, a new life is taking shape. In a city with over 500,000 inhabitants, there are shops, cafes, markets, and cinemas open. People are working. Children go to schools and kindergartens. Life is getting better in the recently liberated eastern part of the city, in which tens of thousands of residents have already returned to their homes. Our military hospital is working in Aleppo. Almost 10,000 citizens have had a consultation and received treatment there. After terrorists lost Al-Bab, the liberation efforts began to spread further east, and the ancient city of Manbij, founded before Christ, was taken as well. Almost 80,000 people lived there before the war. There, a legitimate government and normal life are being restored. Our military help with humanitarian aid. In reconciled cities, supply of electricity and water is being restored. Movement to peace is complicated by the fact that the terrorists, which are fleeing from Mosul and Raqqa, strengthen their ranks at the key points of combat in Syria. In fact, this was stated by General Sergei Rudskoy representing the Russian Defense Ministry. Success in Palmyra was achieved despite the continued build-up of militant groups due to their withdrawal from Mosul and Raqqa. But it did not help the coalition to achieve the objectives stated last year. A group on the liberation of the city of Raqqa, created by the coalition, didn't come closer than 10 kilometers away from the city. The storm of Mosul continues for more than 4 months, but the task hasn't yet been performed. A humanitarian catastrophe continues to worsen in the city, and it is not comparable in scale with the situation in Aleppo at the end of last year. Indeed, this is what is happening near Mosul. Thousands of homes are destroyed. Initially, refugees were not taken out of the city, but, on the contrary, were asked to stay. The authorities either didn't want to spend the money on evacuation, or would rather use them as a human shield. There is a catastrophic lack of food, medicine, fuel, and even water. This has been happening since September. In western Mosul, there are, according to various estimates, about 800,000 inhabitants living in this nightmare. Roads leading there have been closed for 3 months. After the terrorist attacks of February 15, all the international organizations through the UN stopped delivering humanitarian aid. Their pretext is that the Iraqi security authorities failed to provide safe conditions for work. Iraqi army continues the battle for Mosul with the support of the pro-American coalition. American officers are at the forefront. They give orders directly on the battlefield. Their efficiency is low. They increasingly use artillery firing at the city's neighborhoods in order to safeguard their soldiers, though the so-called Golden Division, the most combat-ready unit of the Iraqi army, prepared by the Americans, has already lost half of the personnel in the fighting. What is the perspective? They expect that the battle for Mosul continues for at least another 4 to 6 months. In fact, this means that there is no time limits. However, ISIS terrorist leader al-Baghdadi said that he was being defeated and even left Mosul. However, barbarians who remained there firmly keep the defense near the city. To the south of the city, that is 5 to 7 kilometers away, and to the southwest, that is 12 to 20 kilometers away from Mosul. Situation near Raqqa is not better, they are also stuck there. There are no triumphant report or stories about the sufferings of civilians. Just silence, as if they're not even there.